welcome to Lauren Reed Color. Thanks so much for joining me for another episode of Saturday Snippets. In today's video, we are going to begin a new page, and the book that has won the poll is Luna by Maria Trolle, and the page we will be coloring is the cat in columbines. So yeah, we have this cat, and it is in these columbine flowers. Here we have some stargazer lilies, and then we have this monarch butterfly. And yeah, we are going to be coloring this over our next few Saturdays. Now, what I thought I would do was try to replicate a background that I have already done in the past. So I am talking about the background that I did in Fragile Worlds by Kirby Rosannes, and it is, one second, the background for the European hamster page. Now, if only I can remember exactly how I did it. But no, just kidding. I do sort of remember the process. We will be using for this, we're going to use a combination of several Prismacolor gray pencils, some green pencils, and also two Faber-Castell Art Grip Aquarelle pencils, one in cream and one in May green. Now, if you have Albrecht Dürer pencils, these will work perfectly. Even any other watercolor pencil that you have will work great. If you don't have watercolor pencil, you can just use cream in Prismacolor and lime peel in Prismacolor as well. Just keep in mind that the lime peel is a little bit more olivey than Polychromos's May green. So keep that in mind. You might want to see if you have another green in your set that matches the Polychromos May green, or the Art Grip Aquarelle May green, or the Albrecht Dürer May green. And we're going to be using these pencils dry, okay? We're not going to be activating them. So if you look at the page that we have here, okay, for the background, you can see that we have the gray at the bottom. On top of that, we have some of the greens from Prismacolor, and then we have this gradient moving upwards, okay? A little bit to the sides, and in the middle, we have the glow, all right? Now, to get that sort of glowing effect, we blend with the watercolor pencils. Okay, so that is what we're going to try to achieve. I've never done this background again, so it's going to be a challenge to see if I can replicate it for our page. Okay, so that is one thing we're going to do. Now, let me just show you. Wait, let me put this away. Let me just show you the colors exactly that we're going to be using. Okay, so I have them all written out in my swatch book. So we have yes, all of the French grays and one 90% warm gray. Okay, so it's 90% warm gray, and then it is a French gray 90, French gray 70, French gray 50, French gray 30, French gray 20, and French gray 10. I apologize if you can hear the wind blowing. It's very windy and very hot here, and so I have the window open, and hopefully it won't be too distracting. Yeah, we also have, one second, we also have Prussian green, marine green, and kelp green, okay? These greens will go on top of the grays. And as I said, we have the cream and the May green in the Faber-Castell Art Grip Aquarelle, or the Albrecht Dürer Polychromos equivalents. Okay, keep in mind that if you use the Polychromos, you're not going to get as smooth of a blend unless you layer a lot, okay? We are using the watercolor pencils because you can get a nice smooth gradient without needing to layer as much as you do with Polychromos pencils. Okay, so before I start any of that, I thought that I would show you what I've been doing this week. If you've been watching the updates for my July challenge of color for 31 minutes over 31 days in 31 pages, you know that I've been coloring in Johanna Basford's Rooms of Wonder. So I finished off the 3 other pages that were left over for the last 3 days of July, and I will be showing you all of the pages that I colored throughout this month in my completed pages video. So I'm not going to show you those ones now, it's a secret. But I did finish a page, which I'm really pleased with. Okay, and it is in Wild Winter by Joseph Katzenbang. Originally, I was going to color a different page for the Color the Fairy Tales hashtag, hosted by Joe at Geordie Colors. It was going to be the lantern page in Worlds Within Worlds. But I wasn't really feeling that page, so I decided to look through my books to find another page with a lamp or a lantern, and I found in Wild Winter this page with the giraffe and the lanterns and the staircase, and I colored this using polychromos pencils for the background, which was a challenge and a half. By the time I was done, my hand was really aching, and I don't think I will be doing that ever again. I also used Prismacolor pencils for the glow in the lanterns, but everything else is polychromos. So it's polychromos for the armillary. This is called an armillary. I went and I looked it up. And for the staircase, and for the giraffe, and for the girl, and everything else. So it's only the lantern light that is Prismacolor. Everything else is polychromos. Yeah, I loved doing this page, and I like the way that my giraffe has come out. So that is the page that I finished this week. And I also started another page. I'm in a group on Instagram for the Color Me Capybaras book. This one is by Ella Yarzabek. And the page for June is At the Beach. So so far I have based with alcohol markers, and I have started shading with Castle Arts pencils. I'm liking the way it's looking so far. I like the color palette that I've got. I was at some point thinking of doing some sort of sunset background, but I have already done a sunset background in this book on this page, and so I decided I would just go for a really nice cerulean blue sky and a tealy green sea, and yeah, so I still have to shade the capybara, who is so adorable, although I think she is going to get seriously sunburned. I hope she has put on sunscreen. Yes. So that is the page I'm working on. I don't think that it's going to be finished by the end of July, but yeah, in the beginning of August, it will be done for the summer. As I said, we're going to try to replicate that background that I did in Fragile World, and we're going to start with the Prismacolor 90% warm gray. Now we're going to be building up colors very slowly. Make sure you have a sharp pencil and a very light hand. Now, in order to get a light hand, the best thing to do is to hold the pencil just a little bit further down the barrel, and it will be very light. Okay, so I'm going to start by putting this color, which is our shadow color, onto the page into the shadow areas. Okay, so let's get started. Just a reminder to anyone, if you are new here, these videos are chatty videos. I talk about my week, I talk about interesting things that I see around me, at home or on the internet. So yeah, that's if that's not for you, you are more than welcome to mute me and just color along if you like. Okay, so we're just putting this pencil down in our shadow areas. Okay, so welcome everybody. I hope that you had a good week. My week was so-so. I had to go on Wednesday to a doctor's appointment, and I live in the mountains, so I had to go to a clinic that is not in my town. It is about a 15-minute drive away, but it's in the mountains. So I went on a road that is really windy. So that was an adventure. I had to go and see an endocrinologist, and he has sent me for more tests, which I hope will be okay. We will do them, and we will play it by ear. Yeah, we'll see what happens. So that was Wednesday. Sunday to Tuesday was relatively uneventful. I didn't do much. I think I went swimming one day. And What else did I do? My students on Friday had the second sitting of their final exam. Those students who didn't pass, of which there were very few, have a second sitting. They have another opportunity to pass the exam. So that was Friday, and I will start marking exams. There aren't that many. I only have 15 to mark. Not all of them failed the first exam. Some of them want to improve their grade. But the rule of the college is if you do the second sitting to improve your grade, the second sitting grade is the grade that counts. So it overrides the first sitting of the exam. So it's a risk if you want to improve your grade. We will see. Most of the time students don't. They just take the grade that they get and they're happy with it. Okay, now here, okay, at the edges, I'm actually thinking of putting a frame around this cat, because there's a lot of empty area, and if we fill it all up with pencil, first of all, we're going to use up our Prismacolors, which I don't really want to do, and it's a waste. So I think I'm actually going to do that. I'm going to put a frame around this picture. Also, on this side, we have a frame, so it's fine. Let me get a ruler. Okay, and a pencil. Right, so all I did was take a ruler and a pencil, and I put in a frame around the picture, and I did it to the same dimensions as are on this side, so they will match. So it is basically 2 centimeters on each side and 2.5 centimeters on the bottom and on the top. Okay, so it matches the side. Right, so now we have limited our background, and it will save us some Prismacolor. All right, let's get back to it. So where were we? Okay, so here, I'm on the end, and I am going to carry on with this color right up to the border that I have put in. Now, yes, we will just do that very lightly. We're going to be building up the colors. So very lightly. You will still see this tooth of the paper. That's fine. Don't worry so much if it doesn't look perfect. By the time we finished layering and blending, it will look great. I hope. Yeah, so what else did I do? Yeah, that was what I did this week and what I'm going to do at the beginning of next week. Right now here, we're just going to go inside there. Okay, you can rotate your pencil. I like to rotate my pencil. Okay, I'm also, as you can see, I'm using the side of the pencil rather than the tip, so that it's very, very light. And you can rotate it so that you don't use up too much pencil. All right, let's do this side. So what happened? What did I see this week on threads? I'm trying to think. There are no updates on any of the animals that I spoke about last week. Oh, except for the Camp Carter pups. They are getting ready to go to some sort of, I don't know. She takes them to all sorts of venues to show them off and to start doing the adoption process. She's very strict with her applications, which is good to know because they're so cute. Okay, hold on. So I saw that. What else did I see? Oh, I saw a really cute story about squirrels. So I'm not really sure where it is. I think it might be Canada, but it was really hot. And a guy went to the park with some cucumbers and a juice maker, and he made juice for the squirrels. And it was just so adorable. They were very curious. They came up to him and sniffed out his juice. And they were very eager to be the customers. And one of them scampered off with an entire cucumber. And that was funny. What else did I see? There was also puppy court. One puppy got caught in the act of eating some yogurt. Yes, but the person who actually ate the yogurt and you know, splashed it on the puppy got away. So the puppy's innocent. Innocent, I tell you. And what else was in puppy court? Oh, there was the dog. The dog who was flapping his ears. He was playing tug of war with his human. And he slapped her in the face with his ears. Foul. Foul. But there's nothing in the rules of tug of war to say that you cannot use your ears. So, also innocent. Okay. Yes, just making sure I'm rotating the pencil. What else did I see? Trying to think of what else happened with puppy court. Those were the two cases I remembered the most. And oh, I also saw that in a zoo. Again, I'm not really sure where the zoo is. They have donkeys. It's a petting zoo, and they put pajama bottoms on the donkeys to protect them from flies. Yes, because the flies bite, and to protect the donkeys from the flies, they make pajamas for them. I will put a picture up on the screen of the donkeys wearing pajamas. Yeah, so I saw that. I also saw a video of a capybara, and the capybara was sleeping, and there were two flamingos who were, I don't know, stroking it while it was sleeping. And then I saw another video of a dog. It went to the vet, and it was given a treat by its human. And then it saw that another dog at the vet was very stressed. So it shared its biscuit with the other doggy. So sweet. So cute. Animals are just the best. But on the other hand, I understand that there's some bears somewhere, and there's a bear camera, and people were watching the bear camera, and the bears killed a koi, and people were very upset. But you know, they're bears. They have to eat. Yeah, animals do what animals do. There was a video a couple of weeks ago, I think it was a couple of weeks, of a man who was in Yellowstone National Park, I think, and there was a bison, and the bison attacked him. But he's all right, the man's okay. And, you know, the bison was just doing what bisons do. Yeah. So I saw that. Okay, I think I don't want to go too much. We're going to put this also here, right? We're doing it in the shadow areas, and this will also help us see what is what, because a lot of leaves and flowers overlapping each other here. So if you do this, you start to see where everything is. Here as well. There. That's cat. That's cat. That's not cat. That's not cat. Okay. Okay, here we're really only going to put a tiny amount of this. Okay, really lightly. Because as we're getting to the top, we want our gradient. I'm also thinking, do we want some of this at the top in the corners? I'm going to go and have a look at my Kirby Roseanne's page and see what I did in the corners. I don't think so. I don't think any gray goes there. Just a second. Just a tiny bit of this. Now keep in mind that your page will more than likely go through a serious ugly duckling phase. Don't be stressed. Yes, we will get past the ugly duckling phase. Okay, that's also background, that's background, that's background. Okay, I'm gonna do that. That's cat. That's flower, but this is background. I'm on screen, yeah. Okay. That's cat. Just gonna put this a little bit. We're going to have a long-haired fluffy cat. Okay. I will show you a picture. I will put on the screen a reference picture that I'm going to use for the cat. You can use any reference picture. If you don't like the reference picture that I use, you can find one of your own, and I will show you the technique for doing the fur so that it looks like the reference picture. There is on the channel, I will link it, a video on how I color fur, but for that it's a fox. But the principle is exactly the same. It doesn't matter if it's a fox, if it's a cat, if it's a dog, the principle is the same. Okay, so for this we'll do a cat, but the video that I have is a fox. But yeah, you can use any reference picture that you like. If you want a short-haired cat, if you want a cat that has different colors than the colors that I pick, our cat is going to be sort of a grayish white, fluffy tabby with long fur sort of thing. I'll show you the picture and then you'll see. Okay, I think, is that enough? I think that's enough. Okay, just there. There, do we want to go a bit further up? No, I'm good with that. Okay, so that's what it looks like right now. And now we're going to go in with our next color. Our next color is 90% French gray, and for this we're going to go over the same spots that we did with the warm gray, 90%, and then just a little bit more above, okay? So this is how you get your gradient. Right, so we're going to go again over everything. As I said, we're building up colors. Right, give it a warmer tone now. Yeah, what else did I see? I was watching YouTube videos and I saw there's a video on Annika from Axic Fumble's channel about what happened when she tried to purchase some of the Staedtler aquarelle pencils. It was awful. She bought them, only when she opened the box, there were not Staedtler pencils inside. I recommend going over to her channel and watching her video. She explains in more detail exactly what she did and everything. But really, that's infuriating. I think it was a reseller on Amazon, and they just seem to take out the Staedtler pencils and put in other cheaper brands, sent them back to Amazon, and Amazon resold them. I guess the people at Amazon who pick up the items that have been returned don't necessarily check that they just check that something's in the box. They don't seem to check that what's in the box actually matches the product description, which is unfortunate. Okay, we're just covering over the 90% warm gray with this 90% French gray everywhere where we put. Okay. And this way you're going to get a nice gradient, and you also start to fill up the tooth of the paper. Yeah, so I saw that. I also saw that Elena from Coloring with Elena, she did her unpopular opinions tag video. That was a lot of fun. I recommend going to watch that. What else did I see this week on YouTube that was interesting? Jess from Coloring Bumblebee has her August plans video. Okay, so for me, for our channel, for my channel, I've decided this month that I really liked this past month of doing some pages really spontaneously without, planning them. Okay, it really worked out really nicely for me. I was very happy. And so I'm going to continue that in August. I don't have any buddy colors planned that I'm aware of. And so basically I'm just going to color spur of the moment things. I do have some pages planned for some of the hashtags. So for example, the wild year of color for August is a chipmunk. The animal is a chipmunk. So I have a chipmunk page all planned. And the fairy tale for August's color, the fairy tale is Sleeping Beauty. So I have a page picked out for that. And what else do I have? I think I'm trying to think what else I'm going to be doing. So now we're just going with the warm gray, the French gray. We're going a little bit further up. Not very much. Okay. I like to do flicking motions. Now, these circles are going to be like fireflies. So we're going to leave some area around them. If necessary, we can even go and erase a little bit. So don't be too stressed if you have gone too close to them. Okay, we're going to put a little bit of this here because these flowers are casting shadow. Okay, but it can be lighter there. Okay. We're going to, let's do that. So what was I talking about? I can't remember. I spoke about Annika. Oh yes, the pages. So I'm going to also be trying to do more pages spontaneously. So what I've decided to do is for my completed pages video, I will also show some of the pages that I have planned. I may or may not get to them. I'm not going to have a separate plans video this month. In fact, I might just stop doing those separate plans videos because I think I prefer to do them as part of the completed pages video. If you have a preference for a separate plans video, let me know. Okay, let me know in the comments which you prefer, a plans video combined with the completed pages video or a separate plans video. I really want to be more spontaneous, so all right, we're just really lightly putting in this color. Okay, we're also going to go around the cat just a tad. I think I've gone over all of the, no, maybe not, maybe we didn't do this bit next to the cat. Very lightly. On this side as well. yeah, so that's what I'm going to do for my completed pages video this month. I'm also waiting on some prompts. Oh, in the in the Mythomorphia group, we're doing a break. We're having a break, a catch-up month. So people who, like me, who haven't managed to complete all of the pages that were chosen will do a catch-up month. And I have chosen a page from Mythomorphia that I didn't manage to do when it was chosen in the group. So I'm going to at least get started on it in July. August, not July. Yeah, so that was that. What else did I see? It was a really quiet week in the world as well. I did see that. Wow, I did see lots of the fires all over the place are just terrible. I think it was in France where they're having some of these awful fires. So there was a stables that released all their horses so they could get away from the fire. But thankfully all the horses have been found and they're safe and sound. So that's good news. All right, do I want this color anywhere else? I'm just putting it in shadow areas, as I said. Yeah, putting it around the cat. Yeah, so I saw that. What else did I see? I talked about the cut. I saw something about giraffes. Oh, yes. Talking about giraffes. It's really interesting that I was coloring a giraffe and then saw all of these giraffe stories on Threads. Hold on, before I start this giraffe story, we're gonna change our color. 1 second, just a bit more there and there. I think we've gotten all our shadow areas. Yes. Okay, we're gonna change our color. Hold on 1 second. Okay, so our next color is French Gray 70%. And again, we're going over all the areas where we've colored before and a little bit upwards. Okay, so very lightly. We're basically now blending all these colors together, okay? Yeah, so I saw another giraffe story. So this one is about a baby giraffe named Melanie. Melanie was born via cesarean section, which has never happened before. No giraffe has ever been born by cesarean section. So Melanie's mother, whose name I'm trying to remember, I think her name was Virtue, I think. Anyway, so she was pregnant with Melanie and, undergoing, monitoring at the zoo. I think it's a zoo somewhere in the United States. I want to say Kansas, maybe? Anyway, so they were monitoring the mother and they saw that she wasn't eating. So they did some blood work and unfortunately they found that her organs were failing and that she wasn't going to survive. But they needed to, they wanted to save the calf, the baby giraffe, because the mother was going to either miscarry the giraffe or she was going to die and then the baby was going to die with her. And so she was far enough along that they could attempt to do a C-section. So they consulted with lots of experts on giraffes from all over the world, and they delivered her. And of course, unfortunately, her mother died. And since then, they've been trying to save this baby giraffe's life. And I think this happened in June, and she's doing okay. She's monitored 24 hours a day. They gave her plasma from another giraffe to get antibodies. And this little giraffe is there. baby giraffes usually are born standing up, but this one wasn't, and they had to try and get her to stand up. So they built this contraption, and they have to strengthen her legs, and they have to help her lungs, and all sorts of simply amazing what they're trying to do for this baby giraffe. Just amazing. Yeah, so that was a sweet story, and we're all rooting for the baby giraffe. And another thing that I saw was, so there are a pair of bald eagles, Jackie and her partner Shadow. And these are eagles that people have been watching for years. But this week, I think it was this week, sometime this week, maybe Monday, I read that Jackie, the female bald eagle, was missing from the nest. People didn't see her in the nest on the camera. And then there was some articles about how people had phoned in to some sort of wildlife center that a bald eagle was found injured. Anyway, they sent people. Okay, I'm just making sure that I'm also going over these areas. So they sent some people to the location that was called in, and they found Jackie. I understand from the articles that she was attacked by other eagles, younger eagles, and quite badly injured. So they took her to a rehabilitation center, and they have saved her life. I think she's going to be okay, but she's being treated at the rehab center before they can release her back. But in the meantime, the male bald eagle, Shadow, is looking after their eaglets all by himself, and he's looking for her. They know that he's looking for her. He can't find her, and that's kind of really sad. They don't know what's happened. You can't exactly call them up and say, we're treating her and she's going to be okay. They just have to wait and see what happens. Yeah, but I think she's going to be okay. Yeah, it was kind of a traumatic week for the animal threads. Trying to think what else I saw that was interesting. So it's really hot here. We've been issued a heat warning and been told not to go out in the heat of the day, like after 12 o'clock, because it is currently, hold on, let me see it is currently 33 degrees. It is very hot. Yeah, I'm filming this a little bit later than usual because I had things to do this morning. So it is actually 2 o'clock. 2 o'clock? Yeah, 2 o'clock. And it is 33 degrees. And this is the beginning of the increase in heat, according to the Meteorological Service. They said it is going to get much, much hotter, and to be prepared. But we're kind of used to this. This is not new. And we have, unlike Europe, we have air conditioning. We are used to this kind of weather, this kind of heat. People are very good. They do not go out in the heat of the day. Everybody carries water with them wherever they go. Yes, everybody wears hats and sunscreen. We're good. We know what to do. So, but we are hoping that there won't be any fires because, we also have fires sometimes. Not last weekend, the weekend before that, there were some fires. But they got them under control pretty quickly. We had a really wet winter. It was raining a lot. And so we're hoping that it's not too dry And that will help prevent fires. Okay, I am just, as you can see, I'm just blending all of these colors together and going up a little bit further each time. Okay. Keep in mind, green is going to go on top. So by the time it's finished, it is not going to look gray. The gray will be there as the shadow colors, but the green will overtake it. And we should get a nice gradient. I hope. I am recreating that background. It worked out really nicely the first time, but I've never attempted it before to recreate it, and I'm just hoping that it works out. If it doesn't, not the end of the world. Whatever we get, we get. Just don't be afraid of the ugly duckling stage. Yeah, so it's really hot, and at night, wow. So last night, the nighttime temperature was 26. That's high. And it's Celsius, yeah, 26 Celsius. And it's, it's really hard to sleep in those kinds of temperatures. So I keep waking up, but luckily I am able to go back to sleep. If I wake up before like 4 o'clock in the morning, I can go back to sleep. After 4 o'clock in the morning, it's a struggle. Most of the time I can't go back to sleep. And then I'm up and I end up reading. Let's do that. Okay. Second, just very lightly, making sure I'm leaving highlights around these circles. I might, if you feel that you've gone too close to your circle, take the erase. Now is a good time to erase because we don't have many layers. Okay. So if you feel that you're too close to your circles, now is the time, because once we layer more colors, it'll be a bit more difficult. Yeah, I think that's okay. Just layer 2. Oops, I shouldn't be doing that with my finger, especially since these are Prismacolors. Let me actually get a brush. Yeah, I know better. Here we can go like that. Okay. All right. Yeah, we're keeping our circles around these little. Keeping our glow around these very lightly. Very lightly. Okay. Yeah. So at night it's really hot, as I was saying, but that's why I'm glad I go swimming, because swimming is cool. It's nice to go swimming when it's really, really hot. Might go to the beach. The beach is really hot. The thing is, the beach is really hot. So also, no one goes to the beach in the heat after 12 o'clock. Even before then, even like at 11 o'clock, the beaches start to get empty, and then people come back in the evening. During the day, it's really, really quiet. When we first moved here to Israel, which was in the 1980s, they used to have, like they have in some European countries, I'm not even sure they still have it, they used to have like afternoon siesta sort of thing. Back then, there was no air conditioning. And so everything used to close between 2 and 4 in the afternoon. All the stores, all the factories, people used to go home for lunch and to take a nap and then go back to work after 4 o'clock. Because there was no air conditioning, and in that kind of heat, it's not healthy. So, but slowly but surely, we started getting air conditioning, And now, during the hottest parts of the day, everyone goes to the mall because the malls all have air conditioning. And yeah, so everybody ends up spending most of the day at the mall. And it's the summer vacation, so kids are off school, so they can go to the mall and the movies and all of that. Okay, next color. You might have noticed that I did skip some areas over here, but that's okay. You can do them or not, as long as they're dark. Did I skip some? I think I did. But as long as they're really dark, that's fine. Okay, just I did the side, I think. Did I do the side? Let's just make sure. It's okay to have lots of layers. We're layering our pencils. Okay. Okay, let's go to our next color, which is French gray 50%. Yes. Okay, I do want to look at my Fragile World page to see what I did in the top corners. So just 1 second. Okay, so here's Fragile World. Let's go back to that page. Let me see. So we put the gray there around the hamster, in between the flowers, and then over here at the top it's lighter, so there's no gray there. Okay, so we're gonna leave that. Okay, let's go back to our page. 1 second. Okay, so we're leaving this for now, and we're only going to put the 50% French gray on the bottom. Again, layering. As you can see, our color is starting to build up, but we still got tooth. Make sure that you're using really light pressure, because if you fill in the tooth completely, when it comes to putting in the greens, there won't be enough tooth for the paper, okay? So for the pencil to grip onto. So make sure that you're using really, really light pressure for all of this blending of these grays. I think we're going to leave those parts over there and just go around. Okay. Yeah, just make sure. So you should still be seeing the white of the paper through the pencil. Okay. So that when we go in with the greens, there will still be tooth. Okay. Right, we're not going to go up any further because I want that to be lighter. We might put some of the 10% warm gray, French gray. It's French gray, what we've got here. This is a 50% French gray. Okay, just not a lot of this at all. Okay, let's do that. All right. Right. I think that's it. Let's now do, I think we're going to skip to, I'm going to do the 20%. I think we're going to skip until the 10%. Okay, 10% French gray, okay? And only at the top. We're not putting this down at the bottom. If you put this lighter colors on the bottom, you're going to lighten up all of the shadow areas. So we don't want to do that. So we're putting the 10% French gray only in our lightest areas and blending it into the slightly darker areas at the top. Okay, so don't put it too down at the bottom. Okay. Yeah, so another thing that I was thinking about doing, so for the page hopping challenge that I was doing, the 31 in 31, some of the people who've been watching that have asked me to continue, but I don't want to create any more whips. So I've been writing down people's suggestions, the suggestions that they've been leaving me, and I think what I'm going to do is I am going to choose some pages every month to work on. Now, I don't know if I'll finish them in those months, but I will work on them during the month, and I will have update videos on what I do with those pages. Because people have asked, they want to see what they're going to look like. And there are a couple that I can finish like relatively quickly. Like, for example, the keys page, the keys copyright page, that one can be finished quite quickly. Okay, light pressure, just blending into the lighter areas here. Again, we're going to go over with greens, so don't worry too much. Okay, I'm just blending out some of that 50%. Okay, I think it's time to start doing some green. Okay, I think we will do some green. So let us get the green pencils. Okay, so we have got marine green 988, and we're starting at the bottom. Okay, this color is not going to go too up into the top. Okay, start with the really dark shadow areas. Okay, medium pressure. Keep in mind we're going to put other colors on top. So we're just putting this over the gray. And now that gray is going to get a greenish tint to it, which is what we're going for. If you like other colors, you can choose other colors. Oh, it's the assistant. Say
Yes.
hello, assistant.
But I don't need to say hello. I have greeted myself already today.
She thinks she's so funny.
I am funny. I'm hilarious. I entertain masses.
I'm thinking, is that part of a leaf?
What, the dark area?
This bit over here. Not where I'm coloring, like between, is that a leaf? I'm thinking that's a leaf. We're not going to do that.
You can decide. It's
On the
whatever
other,
you want.
exactly, I can decide.
No one is going to gainsay you.
Yes. No judgment. No.
Well, I'm judging you. I judge everybody.
Oh, she
But others will not judge.
very judgmental, the assistant. So we have found something very interesting, the assistant and I, over the years. And that is, if you drink hot tea when it's hot, it cools you down.
Well, of course.
This is physics or biology.
This is not.
So drinking a hot beverage when it is really hot makes you sweat, which cools you down. We discovered this. Of course, we didn't really discover it exactly. Other people discovered it. We just, do it because we cannot not have tea. We have to have our tea, no matter how hot it is.
We clued into it.
Exactly, we clued into it. We
This
can
is me
say
judging you,
we
by the
can
way.
say we discovered it. It was a discovery that we made, and then we looked it up and realized other people had thought of it before us.
What am I going to do then?
Nothing special. Yes.
So here we are.
All right. So now we are. Yeah, as I said, we're just putting in this color. How long have we been coloring for? For about 45 minutes. Okay, I think we will just, yeah, I think what I'm going to do, I don't think everybody wants to watch me just do this layering business. So what I'm going to do is off camera, I am going to go and I am going to, with this marine green, I am going to do the darker sections, okay? So when you see that you are getting to the lighter grays, stop. So basically here, let's put the border in for where I'm going to do it. Here, up to here. Okay, so if you are coloring along with me, this is what you do. Just up until this area over here, where we have the really dark grays. Okay, I think that should be it. No further than that. If I went further than that, I can always do it next time. So this is basically where we are stopping. Okay, this area. I'm just marking down some areas where I'm going to finish coloring it. Okay, so where I have put down the greens over here and downwards. Okay, so yeah, let's put all this stuff aside. I'm putting this protective sheet on top. In fact, I'm going to get a proper protective sheet to protect it, to protect this page, because this is Prismacolor and it might transfer over to the side of the page. So I am going to put a protective sheet to make sure that doesn't happen. Also, as I said, it's really hot here and wax pencils melt in the heat. So we will definitely be putting something to protect it.
Did you tell them that your B12 pills that melted in your...
Oh yes, my vitamin B12 pill melted in my medicine box. Anyway, let's not digress. So thank you everybody for joining me for today's Saturday Snippets. I hope that you enjoyed it and that you like my plan of recreating that background from Fragile World. It's one of my absolute favorites and I really wanted to recreate it for a very long time, and I think this page is perfect for it. So yeah, thanks again, and I hope to see you all soon. Bye for now.